You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today I'm talking about the subject of ability, our giftings and callings that God has given to us. I believe with all my heart that every one of us has some kind of gift or talent that God has bestowed upon us, even since birth. We just need to find out what it is and use it for God's honor and God's glory. It says in 1 Peter 4:11, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth, that God in all things may be glorified, and that Jesus Christ, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever, that he may be glorified. So what do I have here? Well, let me tell you, just because somebody can do a great ability in one area doesn't mean they can in every area. Remember this, if you hear somebody play the piano and you think, wow, I wish I could do that. So you take piano lessons, but guess what? You don't really have the talent. It wasn't really a God-given talent that he gave you. I know this personally from being a piano teacher for many years. There have been a few students over the years that I've just had to take the parents aside and say, I'm sorry, but you're wasting your money. Not everybody can do the same thing. It says in 1 Corinthians 12:18, God hath set the members, every one of them, in the body as it hath pleased him. Well, this is my husband's saxophone. I might as well try to learn to play it. I gave it to him as a Christmas gift many years ago, and he even had a teacher in his 90s that was teaching him. I was impressed. But when he practiced, I must admit, it sounded like a foghorn. And he just didn't really have the desire like I hoped that he would have. So I'm keeping it because maybe I'll take up saxophone lessons someday. Not everybody has a gifting and calling in all musical instruments. I play some musical instruments myself, but I'm sure there's a few that I couldn't play if I tried. We all have different talents and callings. Well, what about this? This is a great talent that my husband has. I don't want to open it, but these are plans. What does he do for a living? He's a project manager for a construction company. He's very smart. Do you know he personally has overseen over 150 Walmart and Supercenters? He may not be good at playing the saxophone, but one thing he is good at, and that is doing projects for big box retail stores and parking lot overlays and things like that. So that's his talent, and that's what he should use for the glory of God. Well, this is a saw and this is a hammer. Let me tell you, I don't have the talent for that either. But some of you watching, it comes easy for you to build a house or to add an addition or to repair something. It's no big deal. Good for you. Well, I made some clothes once when my boys were little. This is a sewing machine, and as you can tell, it's never been opened. Now, I'm a beginner seamstress, but that's about it, folks. I can do the simple things. Remember years ago when they had to make it tonight? Well, it took me 2 weeks to make it tonight, right? So I know my giftings and calling, and I can do the simple sewing, and sure I can do mending, but to sew a lot of fancy clothes or a wedding dress, forget it. Keep me with the music, all right? Well, what about this? My grandparents years ago had a greenhouse. Good for them. And I can water plants and keep plants. And my mother-in-law used to work in a florist, and she was great at that. But is that my calling? Not really. I think I can keep some of them alive. Some plants. How about you? But having a green thumb? Well, I don't think that's my thing either. And what else do I have here? This is a thermostat. Now there's a man I know. I'll just say his first name. His name happens to be Darren. He can do so many things. Heating, air conditioning, a lot of things in the electrician. But can I do those things? That's not really my calling. Actually, I don't even have a desire to do it, but I'll pay somebody else to do it. And here's 2 more left. Hair. Well, I can keep my hair presentable, but can I do the color and cutting myself? Not really. I think I'll pay somebody else to do that. And the last is, well, it's a toy microphone, but that it is. Well, not everybody's called to sing. Years ago in my early 20s, I thought, oh, surely everybody can sing even just a little bit. Well, I tried to get my father-in-law to sing. He was totally tone deaf. I realized then, not everybody can sing. So please bless us and don't sing if you know that you can't sing. Not everybody has the giftings and talents. And so if you see somebody with one, don't envy them if you can't do it. Just appreciate the giftings and callings that God has given to them and enjoy the blessing, because He's given us the giftings and callings for us to use to bless the body of Christ, and also to use that as a tool to lead people to Jesus. Use your God-given abilities and talents to reach the lost and to encourage the Christians. Finally, it says in James 1:17, every good and perfect gift comes from God. So don't envy and be jealous of someone else's talents if you don't have that same ability, because God's given you something that maybe somebody else cannot do, and just find out what it is and use it for God's honor and glory. You've been watching Moments with Jill Walker. God bless you today.